But the real structural shift right now is not about AI PCs versus not AI PCs. It's really a restructuring of the architecture of the PC market. So AI PCs have created sort of like this new demand driver and this new category of hardware with NPUs basically at the center of the boards that essentially handle a lot of the AI enablement in a PC. But what we've seen is the advent of these extremely advanced, very sophisticated developer PCs, right? That are basically sort of like AI servers in a small form factor, whether it's a laptop form factor, like a gaming laptop, they tend to be a little beefy, or desk side or desktop PC with tremendous AI capabilities that are really for people who are going to be testing models or even building models as they become more and more efficient and as the hardware becomes more high performance. So you have these very, very high priced PCs that can be anywhere from, $3,000 to, $50,000 and up. And then below that, you have your traditional sort of like Mac versus Windows PCs, right? That have varying levels of AI capabilities within the processors. So you have some that are, Copilot Plus, which is a category of AI PC compatible. You have some that exceed the minimum requirements, and you have some that fall below it because they need to be in a certain price point. But essentially, most of the PCs being sold right now, whether it's a Mac OS or Windows, have some kind of built-in hardware capability. But what's really interesting to me is that we've been seeing now for the last year extremely strong signals that pricing of PCs is going to go up. The first wave was because of tariffs, and for the most part, PC vendors tried to absorb a lot of those costs. But we already knew that PC buyers, whether they're in the enterprise, in the SMB market, or in the consumer market, were were bracing themselves for price increases due to the tariffs. The second wave that's about to hit is component prices going up, and primarily memory, because memory vendors are being basically flooded with orders because of AI in data center and other applications.
Yeah.
And so,
For what it's worth, I was actually talking to a memory vendor yesterday on a briefing call, and they literally said to me, "We have no product to sell. We everything is sold. That's it."
yep. So the priority is essentially going to data center and just these big AI infrastructure build outs, which leaves PC manufacturers and other device manufacturers, not just PCs, a little bit in a bind. But essentially, what it's doing is when you have that much demand and a crunch on supply, it increases prices, right? And so we know that PC prices are probably going to go up. And the fear across the industry, whether you're a PC vendor or a semiconductor vendor who sells to PC vendors, is, oh no, if the price goes up 10% or the price of a PC goes up 20%, is there a one-to-one relationship to demand, right? Are we going to start seeing a 20% drop in demand in PC sales if the price of PCs goes up 20%? We actually just did a study for one of our clients on this. I can't talk about the results specifically because it hasn't published yet, but I can tell you it's the one-to-one relationship is not something to fear. It's not anywhere close. And there are a lot of mitigating behaviors that will keep buyers, whether it's the enterprise, SMB, or consumers, engaged in the buying process. They'll still be buying PCs for the most part, just in different ways. And some of the things that they'll do is they'll consider buying PCs at lower price bands, or they'll consider perhaps knocking a few things down on their list of specs. For instance, less storage or a smaller screen or things of that nature, right? They'll downgrade some of the specs of their PCs. And we know exactly what they'll downgrade and what they won't downgrade, which is also super interesting and useful for PC vendors. But so right at this time when PCs are about to become more expensive, we see this restructuring of the PC space, right? With these like super expensive professional PCs at the top, the regular Windows and Mac. But now we're seeing this new this new category of PC emerge in the, I would say, to $700 price band, which is sort of the sweet spot. We refer to this as mid-range. It's essentially about 55% of the consumer market and about 45% of the enterprise market. So it's a really important price segment to nail and to be able to deliver PCs at.